I could not ask for a better ending. That was the best ending that Lucasfilm has ever done, in my opinion. We got Luke Skywalker, and R2-D2, which was absolutely insane, and the Book of Boba Fett. That was insane.
It was truly insane, and like you said, I couldn't be happier with the ending. That was amazing. So I knew they were gonna bring back a Jedi because obviously Grogu called out to the Force, but I didn't know that they were gonna bring back R2 as well.
That was amazing. I was like, is C-3PO gonna tag along? I wanted C-3PO. When I saw R2, I was like, where's C-3PO? I mean, he doesn't fit in the X-Wing, but that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So do you want to start us off with something that you have?
Yeah, sure. So in the beginning, we saw. Well, I have like kind of two things to start off. Well, the first one, it's just like a little fun thing. So I'm like a huge fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and the villain for Season 7 is one of the TIE Fighter, not the Imperial shuttle pilots, which was pretty cool. I mean, that was just like I don't know, that was cool to see, because I'm like a really huge Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. But the thing that I want to like really start off with is like, it's crazy how much disrespect Boba Fett gets for wearing his armor, because he's technically not a Mandalorian, and so Bo-Katan, and I mean Din Djarin in the beginning, he was like, you're a disgrace to your armor, and it's crazy how much disrespect he gets from wearing his armor. It was his father's armor, and then Bo-Katan was talking smack, and she's like, you mean your donor, and like, that's just, it's, I love what they're doing. They're trying to, they have, like, all throughout the entire series, or all throughout all of Star Wars, we've seen huge, like, Mandalorian fights in between, like, a bunch of Mandalorians. Like, it's, like, every Mandalorian is, like, one team is against another. Like, there's a constant fight between Mandalorians in Star Wars.
Yeah, and speaking of disrespect, I also want to say that, skipping to the end of the episode, when Luke obviously arrives, he's obviously talking about how he needs to train Grogu, and I think he says something along the lines of, talent without training is nothing. And I think what they're doing is they're like calling back to how Rey was like overpowered in the sequels. Like she already knew how she hasn't even trained yet, and in the Force Awakens we see she hasn't trained at all yet, but she was able to do like the mind control thing that Obi-Wan did in the original trilogy.
Yeah, and with like Luke Skywalker showing up, Din Djarin or Mando, he was like, "Are you a Jedi?" And he's like, I think he says yes, but I thought he was gonna say yes, like my father before me, which he said in Return of the Jedi. I thought that would have been pretty cool to see. And so when Mando fought Moff Gideon, and then he basically rules over Mandalore, he has the Darksaber now, and then Bo-Katan and Moff Gideon are like, we need to fight to get that. That was confusing to me, because in Rebels we saw Sabine Wren give Bo-Katan the Darksaber. She just gave it to her, and Bo-Katan didn't have a problem with that at all. But now she's like, now she really cares about fighting. So she saw Pre Vizsla get his head chopped off, and so the Darksaber was handed to Maul, and Bo-Katan, she wanted the Darksaber, and Sabine Wren just gave it to her, and I don't understand why Mando couldn't have just give Bo-Katan the Darksaber.
Yeah, and also we finally saw Bo-Katan's ship, the Gauntlet, in live action, because we know that was her ship in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, is that's Bo-Katan's ship. They're getting Bo-Katan again. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like once again, just an absolute epic appearance by Luke Skywalker. That was the craziest. I was mind blown, honestly. That was the craziest thing I have seen ever. That was okay. That was the best ending in all of Star Wars history, in all of movie history.
Yeah. And when he was walking down the hallway, it kind of reminded me of Vader's entrance in Rogue One when he was taking out all the rebels.
Yeah, same. That reminded me a lot of that too. And so Luke Skywalker, he has a specific way of using like his hand motion. There's a specific way of his hand motion when using the Force. Like in Empire Strikes Back, we saw him cup his hand. In The Last Jedi, we saw him also cup his hand. I think in The Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, we also saw him cup his hand. And so they got everything right with this Luke Skywalker appearance. They got the lightsaber, the metal hand, and you can see him use the Force. They used the exact same technique as he used in the original trilogy and the sequels. And so, like you said, it was played by Mark Hamill with CGI and all that stuff. So maybe it was actually him, because he has a specific way of using the Force. Mark Hamill does. So I think that could possibly have been Mark Hamill who did all those scenes with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and like you said, his fighting style was similar to what he was using when he was fighting Vader on. I think that he was fighting Vader in The Last Jedi when he cut his hand off. He was being way more aggressive, and that's what we saw when he was fighting the Dark Troopers when he was going to where I think she was going to the bridge of the ship where Mando and Grogu and everyone there was.
Yep.
So, another thing I wanted to point out is that the shuttle that they used when they captured the Doctor, basically when Cara Dune shot the guy in the face after he insulted her, basically because she's obviously from Alderaan, and he's like, I saw everyone.
Yeah.
I saw blow up. That shuttle, I think that was like a T4 shuttle or something, and Palpatine and Vader also rode in the same type of ship in the original trilogy.
Yep. And in that shuttle, so earlier in the season we saw Snoke. Snoke's theme was playing, and we saw clones of him in the tubes, and in this scene with the shuttle, the pilot, the TIE pilot, he was like, this is a clone mechanic, and that basically confirms that that was actually Snoke, that those were actually clones of Snoke.
Yeah, that was that's kind of cool. And going all the way to the very end of the episode where we see a teaser for the new show that they're going to come out with, the Book of Boba Fett, coming in December 2021.
Just a year ahead, just 1 year, and we're getting the Book of Boba Fett.
Just 1 year later from the season. Also, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the new Mandalorian season, because obviously now Grogu's been taken, because the first two seasons were basically Mando and Grogu together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So the third season can bring many more surprises, as obviously we got Boba Fett in this season, and then we also got Luke in this season. So I don't know who else we're gonna get next in the next season.
So everyone, after this episode, everyone's going in their separate directions. We'll probably see Bo-Katan with the Darksaber. We're seeing the Book of Boba Fett. He's at Jabba's palace. He he's on the throne of Jabba's palace, and we also see Grogu get not taken away, but choosing to be trained by Luke Skywalker, and so there's a possibility that we may not get a Mandalorian season 3. Like it's a I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I think that we may not be getting a Mandalorian season 3 because it kind of just ended, and it's opening a gateway for a new series, which is the Book of Boba Fett. And one of the new series that Disney Plus announced, the Rangers of the New Republic, we could that could possibly not only follow Trapper Wolf and Carson, but it could also follow Luke Skywalker training Grogu.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. And also, what I want to say is a pretty sad part in this is Luke, when he went to go into the ship to get Grogu, he probably told R2-D2 to stay with him in the ship. But because when Anakin said it to R2, he never came back. So I think that's why R2 followed Luke inside of the ship.
Dude, that just left a pit in my stomach. I'm just realizing that. Because we saw R2-D2, he got left, he never saw Anakin again after Anakin told him to stay on the ship, and then in A New Hope, he was told to stay on the ship, and he didn't, and so he was told to stay on the ship again, or most likely he was told to stay on the ship, and that's just heartbreaking. And what's also super sad is that Grogu has never seen Mando's face. He has never seen Din Djarin's face. And so it was just so awesome to see Grogu reach for his helmet, trying to take it off, and then he takes his helmet off. He takes his helmet off. That was the absolute best scene in Star Wars history.
Yeah. And it kind of looked like when in the original trilogy, at the end when Vader was like, take off my mask. So I think Grogu was trying to do the same thing, but since he's so little, he couldn't. So Mando just took off his helmet for him.
This was the best episode ever. It was heartbreaking. It was action packed. It was sad. It was amazing. This is the best. In my opinion, this was the best Mandalorian episode ever. This takes it to a whole nother level, especially the ending. That was just heartbreaking.
Just an absolute masterpiece of an episode. I don't think they could have done anything better in this. So, massive props to, everyone who worked on it, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, the directors, and everything. Just an absolute masterpiece of an episode. I couldn't ask for anything more than this.
Yeah, that was I honestly almost cried. That when he took off his helmet, I was just like, wow, that is awesome. Do you have anything else?
Not really. I just want to say that when I saw the X-Wing pop up, I got super excited.
I honestly thought that was Trapper Wolf, cause we're seeing Trapper Wolf in the new Rangers of the New Republic show, and so I thought maybe he appears in the final battle, and then after that, that's where the Rangers of the New Republic show takes place. But instead, we saw Luke Skywalker, which was 10 times better, and I honestly thought, where's this episode gonna go? Halfway, I'm like, where's this episode gonna go? And that was just awesome.
Yeah, and I also liked the part where I think it was Cara Dune, Bo-Katan, Koiska, and the other, I forgot what the other girl's name was, the one that works with Boba. I forgot what her name was.
Fennec Shand.
Yeah, Fennec Shand. I liked how they were, just causing, they were clearing the way for Mando to go in to get the child. I like how you could see all of them just taking out everyone, complete like it didn't even look like they were trying. It just looked like effortless
Yeah.
how they were taking everyone else. They're like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like we saw. So in Endgame, in Avengers Endgame, something totally irrelevant to the Mandalorian, but we saw all the superhero women like team up, and so in this episode, we saw all the girls. We saw all the women, Cara Dune, Fennec Shand, Bo-Katan, and the other Mandalorian. We saw them all team up, all the women team up, and that I was like, let's go, girl squad, you know? It was cool to see that.
Girls get it done, you know. Girls get it.
Yeah, especially Cara Dune. Like Cara Dune and Fennec Shand, they're a good duo. They're a good fighting duo together.
They have no mercy whatsoever.
Yep. I can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett. That's gonna be a really fun. I honestly want to see where that show. I honestly want to see where that show goes. And we'll see a lot more. We're going to see a lot in 2021. We're going to see a lot from Star Wars in 2021.
Yeah, and with the Book of Boba Fett, maybe we could do something similar to how we're doing Mando Mondays, like Boba Wednesdays or something like that.
Yeah, Boba something. Yeah, that would be fun. It's been quite a journey on Mando Mondays. I thank you everyone who's been watching them, possibly watching all the way through, but people who's like are just waiting for Mando Mondays to come out. I thank everyone who watches these. If you made it this far, yeah, we may do a similar thing to Mando Mondays with the Book of Boba Fett, or maybe another one of those shows. But for now, it's been great, and I'll do a lot more Star Wars content. Like, it's not over yet. We might do another similar thing to this, and so yeah, stay tuned for like the Book of Boba Fett, possibly like Boba Wednesdays, like Derpy Boy said.